Randy and Judy Brown say a year before the high school shootings, they were so concerned about Eric Harris's violent writings on the internet that they went to police. The Browns had trouble with Eric Harris. They say Harris had threatened their son, Brooks, and vandalized his car. When Brooks found threats of mass murder on Harris's webpage, he brought it to his parents.
The entire website was dedicated to how he was going to kill the entire state of Colorado.
When the Browns met with investigators from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Department, they say they turned over several pages from Eric Harris's website, pages that read, "I will rig up explosives all over a town and detonate each one of them at will after I mow down a whole area of you snotty rich," and it continued with a string of expletives. The page continued, "All I want to do is kill and injure as many of you as I can." One of the pages that had a recipe for a pipe bomb concluded, "Now our only problem is to find the place that will be ground zero." Today, a sheriff's spokesman would not discuss any of this.
All of that is part of the ongoing investigation, and they do not want to make any comments about that right now.
Investigators say notes left by the gunman directed people to this web page, believed to be created by Harris. It says he worked at a fireworks stand and includes the personal quotes, "Shut up and shoot it. Kill 'em all." Police, too, said today the boys had a record.
Property crimes, auto trespass, theft, went through a diversion program, and the district attorney's office completed that program.
Friends suggest the boys may have faked their way through that rehab program 1 year ago. At heart, they say the gunman hated authority, minorities, student athletes, anyone who picked on them.
In plain view in Eric's bedroom, according to police, investigators found bomb-making materials, a shotgun barrel, and a diary that for a year had detailed his plans for the attack.
Stolen. And the crazy thing is that the neighbor has been shooting a lot of bullets lately, hundreds of rounds, large magazines, and, you know, we've made it aware that this guy has been crazy, and he's been threatening us, and everything like that. We just feel like maybe a little crazy. That's it.
And how's your roommate right now?
Unfortunately, he's not good. He's dead.
Jamie, we know the shooter was not permitted to own guns. What else do authorities know about the shooter's background and the time between when he was first arrested and Tuesday's rampage?
Well, we do know that a short time ago, our sister station in North Carolina talked to the shooter's family, who said that he did have mental illness his entire life, that he seemed a little off, and that in recent days when he had been talking to his mother, that he indicated that things were closing in or coming to some type of end. On top of that, he had been feuding with his neighbor. We have not confirmed exactly what that feud was about between the neighbors, but we do know that less than a year ago in January, he stabbed his female neighbor in the stomach with a knife. He was out on bail, and he then had a restraining order that the neighbor had put in place. Now, according to that restraining order, he was not allowed to own any guns. He actually did go and turn in a firearm and said that he didn't have any other weapons, but as we know now, he was able to get his hands on some guns and go on this shooting rampage here in this small town.
Honestly, a lot of people were saying that it was going to be him and stuff like that. We threw a lot of kids threw jokes around like that, saying that he was the one to scoot up the school. But it turns out, you know, everyone predicted it. That's crazy. He was a kick the guy out of school. He was a little bit of a troubled kid, but everyone thought, you know, he always had jokes and stuff like that. It was a lot of like crazy stuff that he did, just not right for school. He got kicked out of school multiple times for this kind of stuff.
Kathy Catsell O'Connor is credited with stopping her grandson, Joshua O'Connor, from shooting up Aces High School. We met her outside her home. Kathy, can we talk to you?
No.
Is there anything you want us to know about Joshua? Well, she wasn't up to talking to us. We did talk to neighbor Ron McLaughlin.
She's a real nice person, and we really care for her and feel sorry things turned out this way.
Today, we watched detectives at the house collecting evidence. We found Joshua O'Connor's Facebook page. The 18-year-old moved to Everett from Arizona. He attended ACES High School. On social media, he has pictures of guitars. According to court documents, his grandmother found the rifle hidden in a guitar case in his bedroom. Court documents reveal the teen had a journal and had been studying school shootings. Quote, "I'm learning from past shooters, bombers' mistakes, so I don't make the same ones." In court today, the prosecutor said O'Connor even purchased the same kind of rifle Eric Harris used in the Columbine school shootings. ACES sits on the same campus as Challenger Elementary School.
The elementary school's right here. You can't tell me that maybe he would have gotten bored and then came right next door.
A morning that began like any other turned tragic today when an employee opened fire on his supervisor and fellow co-workers.
Students, parents, teachers are asking why today, after a bloody rampage, plunged this campus into tragedy.
Details are just coming in, but we're being told that a heavily armed gunman opened fire this evening at the mall food court behind me. There's no official word on any casualties yet, but one eyewitness reported seeing at least 6 people shot.
Active shooter. A gunman or gunmen killing or attempting to kill people in a confined, populated area.
You gotta get some sleep. You're looking like a vampire.
You sleep. You ain't got no babies at home keeping you up.
What the hell? Sim again.
We've tried. I'm sorry. We're gonna have to let you go.
Active shooter killings are a tragic, unpredictable reality, and one that's becoming more common.
Since 2006, the U.S. has averaged an active shooter event with 4 or more deaths every 2.9 months.
Even though the number of active shooter events has been increasing, your odds of being involved in one are still very slim. But just like fire drills and earthquake preparedness, making a plan in advance can make all the difference.
Yeah, but lizards live in tanks. I mean, it's probably fine.
If you do find yourself in the middle of a senseless attack, the why doesn't matter.
Hey, buddy.
Hang on, something's happening.
What matters is surviving.
On average, 20 mass shootings take place in the U.S. every year.
Killers usually choose their victims at random. They look for easy targets. So the harder you are to see or to hit, the safer you are. When an attack starts, if you can find a way out of the location, do so.
Get out.
If you stay calm and think clearly, even in the middle of a life and death event, you improve your chances of making it out. Visualize your movements in advance.
What are we gonna do?
Look at me. I can get us out. Stay behind me. Stay down.
Use cover, something that will stop a bullet, and concealment, something that at least keeps you out of sight.
Attention South LA units, code 3 response needed regarding a 245 DSV 417. This will be at the Town Center shopping mall. Suspects wearing a face mask, possible body armor.
Use any available means to get out, including emergency exits or windows. Most restaurants and retail locations will also have exits in the back, through kitchens or stock rooms. Even in the best cases, police are minutes, not seconds away. You must take action to protect yourself.
Okay, everybody stay calm. It's probably just a drill.
No, go back.
Oh my God, come here.
If you can help others without putting yourself in unnecessary danger,
It's gonna be okay.
do so.
It's gonna be okay. What's your name?
Lori.
Lori? It's gonna be okay.
If you can't move safely to an exit, get to a room or a confined area you can lock down. Then secure the location.
Secure your location.
Oh my God.
There's somebody shooting.
Everybody stay calm. Remember how we train. Everybody get in this corner, away from the windows. Get the emergency bag from my desk. Help her.
Drywall won't stop a bullet, but there are steps to take to stay safe. Lock or barricade the doors, turn off the lights, move away from any windows, and silence your cell phone.
The other door doesn't lock. Move desks or anything, just block it.
A modern emergency bag can include a first aid kit, gloves, emergency plans for the building, and casualty cards to alert first responders to any wounded victims.
Most active shooter situations are over in 10 to 15 minutes.
Attention Lakeway units, code 3 is needed, red 245 GSV 417. It's going to be at Alexandria College. Multiple victims down.
Law enforcement's first responsibility when entering an active shooter situation is to stop the suspect, not to render aid to the victims. Medical teams will enter the scene as soon as the suspect is no longer a threat or is confirmed in another location. Silence any cell phones and remain quiet. Do not alert the shooter to your presence.
Sheriff's Department, is there anyone inside?
Red card.
Just hang tight. We'll be back to get you.
Defend yourself.
If you cannot escape the location and you can't shelter in place, you may have to defend yourself as a last resort. Almost anything can be turned into an improvised weapon. Look for something that can disrupt the shooter's ability to see, breathe, or control their weapon. When law enforcement arrives, they are going to be in a heightened state of readiness and awareness, looking for any aggressive movements. So keep your hands visible and follow any commands you are given.
He's a shooter.
What happened? Oh, it was just a shooter. I just saw one shooter.
Especially in developing situations, engaging law enforcement, running toward them, reaching for them, even to thank them, could put people at risk.
Surviving an active shooter.
Anybody injured? Two up front.
For more information,
Thank you. Seriously.
Visit activeshooter.lasd.org.
So many Americans have asked themselves, what would I do if a gunman were to walk in? And so ABC's Elizabeth Vargas tonight with what authorities say you should do to help you survive.
You need to react. The first 5 seconds of an active shooter incident is paramount.
Workplace safety consultant John Bruner says to save your life, fight the panic. First, try to run.
If you're in this situation, Elizabeth, and you know that the shooter is pretty far away, right here, we have an exit. We're going to tell people, we have a shooter down the hall. Let's exit over here.
If there's no quick way out, use anything to create a distraction. A fire extinguisher can create a literal smokescreen. But say you're trapped and there is no way to run. Option 2, hide. In the bathroom without a lock, Bruner says improvise by using a belt to slow down entry. And if you have to hide inside an office...
We lock this door.
But what if you're cornered in your office and the gunman finds your hiding spot?
If you're hearing him bust through this door, you have to quit the hide and you have to attack.
Option 3, fight.
The minute he comes in the door, I go at him?
You need to be aggressive. You have to fight for your life.
Look around for anything that could be used as a weapon.
What do I do? Do I go for their throat? Or
You go for any piece of body you can.
It is all about developing a survival mindset. Act quickly, act decisively. If you think of yourself as a warrior, David, that could increase your chances of getting out alive. Your life will depend on it.
It may feel like just another day at the office, but occasionally, life feels more like an action movie than reality. The authorities are working hard to protect you and to protect our public spaces. But sometimes bad people do bad things. Their motivations are different. The warning signs may vary, but the devastating effects are the same. And unfortunately, you need to be prepared for the worst. If you were ever to find yourself in the middle of an active shooter event, your survival may depend on whether or not you have a plan. The plan doesn't have to be complicated. There are 3 things you could do that make a difference. Run, hide, fight. First and foremost, if you can get out, do. Always try and escape or evacuate, even when others insist on staying. Encourage others to leave with you, but don't let them slow you down with indecision. Remember what's important, you, not your stuff. Leave your belongings behind and try to find a way to get out safely. Trying to get yourself out of harm's way needs to be your #1 priority. Once you are out of the line of fire, try to prevent others from walking into the danger zone and call 911. If you can't get out safely, you need to find a place to hide. Act quickly and quietly. Try to secure your hiding place the best you can. Turn out lights, and if possible, remember to lock doors. silence your ringer and vibration mode on your cell phone. And if you can't find a safe room or closet, try to conceal yourself behind large objects that may protect you. Do your best to remain quiet and calm. As a last resort, if your life is at risk, whether you are alone or working together as a group, fight. Act with aggression. Improvise weapons. Disarm him. And commit to taking the shooter down, no matter what. Try to be aware of your environment. Always have an exit plan. Know that in an incident like this, victims are generally chosen randomly. The event is unpredictable and may evolve quickly. The first responders on the scene are not there to evacuate or tend to the injured. They are well trained and are there to stop the shooter. Your actions can make a difference for your safety and survival. Be aware and be prepared. And if you find yourself facing an active shooter, there are 3 key things you need to remember to survive. Run, hide, fight.